In ground folks, this is another no AC service call. Guys, this is a relatively quick service call. This customer said that they had a humming sound coming from the vents and they turned it off once they realized no air was coming out the vents. I got here and real quick I turned the thermostat on. My condenser was running but my fan wasn't, and it looks like this is our first time here too, and it looks like someone already replaced the capacitor previously. It looks like a newer run cap, but this thing was humming. I knew it was getting power, but I knew that this motor was shot, so I pulled the housing out. And guys, I didn't look at the efficiency. I think it's a 90% carrier unit, but I just looked at the nameplate. This calls for a 1/3 horsepower motor. And guys, once again, if you can go OEM with all of your repairs and it's convenient for you, I'll say do it whenever you can. But guys, right now, this is a Friday morning and I got at least 2 jobs left to do, and right now it's like 90 degrees, so it's going to be a pretty busy weekend for me. For that reason, guys, instead of us going OEM, we know it's a 1/3 horsepower blower. We know that this 5460 rescue motor can work between 1.5 and 1.6. Now guys, if this was a 3/4 horsepower motor like in previous videos, this can't work. This can only work up to 1.6. Well, it can work down to 1.6, but it can only work up to a 1/2 horsepower blow motor. So that's very, very important for you guys to know. Rescues are great, but you want to make sure that you're using these rescue motors in the right application. So, all right, guys, so let me get my tools. Let me break this bad boy down, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Peace. All right, guys, I got this motor out, and guys, I actually didn't have to use my pulley puller. I just used some WD. Guys, I use that as backup. I do have, I think it's called penetrate oil. It's like some stuff that they have at Johnstone, the red can. I thought I had another can of that, and I put it in this van, but I might have left it in the other van when I was cleaning the other one out. But yeah, guys, WD-40 can work. All I did was, like I said, I just used some sandpaper to get the crud and dirt that was on the shaft, and once I sanded the shaft down, I just put the lubrication oil over it, and like I said, I let it sit for a little bit, and yeah, with enough time, it came right out. But like I said, worst case, if that didn't work, then I probably will have to use the pulley puller. But yeah, guys, so what I'm going to do is I have my other bracket. Worst case, I fucking hate these belly band brackets because it's just, I feel like the leg should be welded to the belly. But like I said, whenever possible, I try to use, like I said, a new bracket whenever I do blow motors. But I'm going to try to give it a shot with this old bracket. I got like one try in me with this before I just rip this shit out, and then I use the new bracket. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna give it a shot and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Let's see what happens. What the fuck, you know, guys, it actually worked on the first try. Now guys, look, I can get a little petty, but look, if it would have took me like more than 10 minutes to put that bracket on, I would have just threw that out and put a new one on. But yeah, guys, every once in a while you can play around, like I said, with different parts and see if it works. But yeah, I actually got this on, so I just saved myself a couple bucks of getting a new bracket. So now, guys, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this new motor in. And another thing you guys seen on previous videos, you guys know how I feel about my wires. You never know. I won't I'm not making an excuse for hoarders, but like I said, you never know when you might need them. But yeah, I'm gonna put this new motor in and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Guys, another thing you should invest in, I'm pretty sure most of you guys already have this, you need to invest in drill bits. Guys, real quick, you got your 5/16 and 1/4 inch everyday reversible chuck. But guys, Home Depot, and I mean at this point I say Home Depot or Lowe's, but you can get this from Amazon. Just make sure it works. I have 3/8, 7/16, and I got a 1/2 inch drill bit chuck, which comes in handy for taking the mounting screws off the housing whenever I do motors. You guys can't use the wrench set, but there's nothing wrong with speeding up your installation time by having the right size drill bit. So yeah, guys. So, and another thing with Carrier, and I believe Heil and ICP, I don't know why, but the freaking common wire on the blower motor, they use a smaller spade connectors. And guys, unfortunately, I knew it was something I was missing the other day at the supply house. I had the blue spade connectors, but the blue spade connectors are too big, so I had to splice the old common wire in, and I'll tape that up and I'll zip tie it to make sure everything is snug and nothing's hanging. But yeah, guys, always keep some small spade connectors on your truck, especially if you're doing motors, because like I said, with some brands, specifically ICP, Carrier, and Heil, the common wire from your blow motor, the spade connector, is always going to be smaller than the rest. So you want to make sure, like, so you have a few, just in case you don't want to do what I'm doing here. You just want to use a new spade connector, do that. But I'm only doing this because, once again, I don't have the luxury of going to a supply house right now. So yeah, guys. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to zip tie these together. And guys, another thing is the rotation. You guys never had to, I never spoke about this on camera, but the rotation, make a long story short, guys, I think it's like shaft in counterclockwise or whatever. But guys, most of the time with blow motors, if the motor itself, basically what I'm pointing to right here, is on the right side, you don't have to change the speeds. But it's sometimes, guys, you can have a weird situation. I had this, I believe, on Memorial Day when I put that motor in. The motor was actually on the left side. If you do that, guys, you got to swap the orange. Swap the orange and the purple leads out. And guys, what that'll do is that'll change the orientation. And worst case, guys, let's say if you forget, you'll know, because once you test this thing, the air is going to pull in instead of blow out. So at that point, guys, it may suck, but you may have to pull this out and just swap the two tabs here. And like I said, if you look at the instructions, it tells you exactly when to do it and how to do it. But like I said, guys, most of the time, I'm only telling you from experience. If the motor's on the right side, you don't really have to mess with the orientation and swap the wires. You just plug and play. Make sure, for damn sure, that you got the right horsepower motor in and you hook it up right, because guys, 1/3 horsepower, you got to use particular speeds. You don't want to use the speed too big, and now you're going to have a motor sound like a rocket, or vice versa. You don't want to put the speed in too low, and then now the customer complains about having not enough airflow. So there you guys have it. I got to put the set screw in the shaft, align this squirrel cage up, and I got to get that 7.5 cap. And yeah, let's see what's up. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Peace. All right, guys. We got our new motor in. Our supply temp is dropping. And this was the new filter that they put in yesterday. Yep. This is a simple repair, but I gotta get out of here. New motor. And let's look at it outside real quick. This is the condenser, and this is the thing that was running by itself when I was out here. Luckily, they turned it off before it froze up. But yeah, guys, the customer's happy. Unit is fixed, new motor, and I gotta get out of here. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.